Hey everybody, welcome back to Start a List with Carol and Stacy. I'm Stacy,
I'm Carol.
and we are excited to be back for episode 4, we think.
Yes.
How are you?
Doing well, other than I'm a little warm. I'm either hot or cold, never
Yes,
the right temperature, but it's so hot outside. And I
very
don't know
hot
why.
outside. And it's
January.
for those of you that don't live around here, it's January in Tennessee, and it is going to be almost 70 degrees today. And I'm wearing a sweatshirt, but I'm burning up because I'm supporting my nephew tonight playing basketball. But whew, it's messing with my outfits because I don't have clothes. I don't have clothes for this time of year when it's 70 degrees.
Yeah, but we don't care about being hot or cold. It's just important that you look cute.
Of course, you have to look
Oh,
cute.
At least you look
Um,
cute.
I mean, if it's going to be 70 degrees for crying out loud, I wish that I was somewhere a little more tropical and not. It's also raining a lot right now, like springtime. And I was telling my husband the other day, I was like, you may have to mow the grass in January because it's so warm out. Keep
Mine
going.
Mine actually needs mowing because I have a ton of leaves still left over from fall,
Yeah.
and they're just piled up because, yeah, I'm not going to get out there and rake them.
So we're several weeks into the new year, or a few weeks into the new year. And like I said, I wish I was somewhere a little more tropical. And I know people are starting to think ahead. Okay, for those of you that don't know, where we live, we have spring break very early. We're not teaching anymore, so I don't keep up with the calendar, but it's usually early March, right?
It's super early,
Yeah.
and if you haven't made plans to travel by now, you probably should, like today.
Yeah. When my son was little, we did a cruise every spring break. So I can remember going on the cruise and it being so warm and lovely. And then you come home and it's freezing cold because it's still early March. And we have been known to have snow in March.
We have,
It's
yeah.
so, but anyways, Carol and I were talking just the other day when we were, what do you have trips planned this year? Are you going anywhere? What are you doing? And we don't have any big trips planned this year. I hope to do a couple small things, but it got us to thinking about some crazy travel adventures that the two of us have had.
Yeah, I think she thought I had fainted when she started asking me about travel because I'm a little traumatized. We just happen to have a couple of funny travel stories. But before we get to that, I have a who knew.
Yes.
One of them, of course, has to do with your caloric intake because we always have to talk about food. And the other one is appropriately about travel. But the first one is who knew I can save you 1/10 of a calorie per day
Okay.
if you will avoid licking a stamp. Now, who knew that a stamp has 1/10 of a calorie? You would probably have to walk
To the mailbox
to the
put it in the
mailbox
mail.
to burn that off. Okay, so I thought that was crazy.
Well, lucky
But
for
I
us,
guess
there's not too many stamps that have to be licked anymore. Praise the Lord.
true. But I thought, okay, who knew that? The other one is that speaking of travel, like let's just say you are flying and people complain a lot about, the food on an airplane or whatever. Well, I don't complain about the food on an airplane because I've never been able to have food on an airplane, never been in first class. I either get the 2 pretzel pack or the 3-piece of fake brownie brittle. I don't even know what that stuff is, or the Biscoff cookie. So, yeah. But I did not know this, that when you are in a high elevation, your taste buds don't work as well.
Oh.
So, I mean, who knew?
Who knew, y'all?
So if you're traveling, take your high flavored snacks with you because you're not going to be able to sense the sensitivity to salt and sweet is decreased by 30% if you're up in the air.
Good to know.
So,
Well, we were laughing because I mean, Carol and I both have been lots of places in our lifetime. but I don't fly a ton. I have flown plenty, but a lot of our trips have involved driving. But in the event that I have had to fly, I think if I did it more often, I'd be more comfortable. I'm not a nervous flyer. Like, I'm not nervous on the plane. I hate going to the airport. The getting to the airport, the parking, the getting in, the being dropped off, the going through whatever it's called, TSA. It gives me anxiety.
That part I do not enjoy. I don't know if there's anybody out there that goes, "Oh, yippee!"
I think it just some people aren't phased by it. I, on the other hand, am easily worked up by it, which is again,
Same.
like
Yeah.
if you've been listening, we are easily like to overreact, and that's something I do overreact to. But I have died laughing about Carol's most recent. Is that your most recent flying experience that you're going to talk about?
Yes.
It was this past year, right?
It was. It was actually it's coming up on almost a year.
Yes,
But
and
it was 2025.
so hold on before you tell it. I was so
Uh-huh.
excited for you to get to go do this because it was something you had been
no.
looking forward to, and I didn't talk to you for a couple days because I knew you were going on your trip, right? So
Right, right.
y'all, when you hear this, when I finally did talk to her, I was just like, my mouth was hanging open. I was like, what?
Well, okay. So it's pretty ridiculous, but here's what happened. So ever since I can remember, my family has been kind of into sports, and I played sports in high school, and now I can't walk because of it. But anyway, except for the one day walking club. And then, so now my son is in college and he is doing sports broadcasting for his major. Well, his sweet little college team won their division and made it to what's called the dance, which is March Madness. Basically, that's the biggest tournament of the year. So he called me. He's almost in tears. He's so happy. Mama, I'm going to get to go to the March Madness and call the game. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, what a chance of a lifetime. I'm like, I want to go. I want to go. I'm going to go. And he's like, okay, we'll go. And, I'm like, I'll sell a bunch of stuff and save the money. I want to go. So here I go. It happened to be in Milwaukee.
Yep.
I've never been to Milwaukee. So I'm going to go to Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and be with my son or sit somewhere, who knows where, but he'll be in his little area doing the game, and we get to experience this together. And so I was very excited. I would be as excited as if I had won the lottery. So I'm, planning and planning and planning and talking, and finally the day comes, the week comes, and I had bought a plane ticket and it was really expensive. And his dad happens to work for a well-known airline and offered, hey, I happen to have some family buddy passes. Would you like to use one of those? And I thought, oh my gosh,
Yeah,
that's awesome. Yes, of course. And so I got my refund on my ticket. We go to the airport and we're there, we're in, I'm snapping pictures, like, here we are. I'm like trying to document everything. He's so excited. He's working on game notes. I'm just sitting there like just grinning, I'm just torn up. I'm so excited. Well, we see on the board, you have to wait. If you're flying with a buddy pass, you have to go on standby, which is fine. I don't mind flying standby. Well, we see our names up on the board. He's number 28. I'm number 37. And I'm like, oh, this isn't looking great, And I thought, well, we'll, we had gotten there early enough. We still had some time. So we missed getting on that flight, which is fine. There was still another flight out to where we were going to connect. We wait, we go, okay, we're on the board. He's number 19, and I'm number 40 something. And I'm like,
He's going up,
hey,
you're going down.
we have the same last name. Why am I so far apart from him? But then we got a little worried. So then I'm starting to go, okay, what am I going to do if I can't get on this flight? So I looked at him and I said, you have to go. I don't have to go.
Right.
I'll either turn around and go home or we'll get in the car and start driving. I don't know. We were going to plan B real quick. Well, they called his number and I kissed him goodbye. And I said, I love you. And I'll meet you in wherever it was, Dallas. I don't even know where we were going to connect. And I said, can't wait. It's going to be fun. And so he goes off, he gets on the plane and leaves. I'm there all by myself waiting for the next flight out. They said, we're going to have to send you to Charlotte instead of Dallas, but you'll still get to Wisconsin in time. And it's the night before this big game, mind you. And so I'm thinking, all right, I've still got, 24 hours to get there. And so I get on, they call my name. I was number whatever. They called my name. I got on the flight. I was just so happy. I couldn't believe it. I'm headed to the dance and I'm going to be there with my son. I get to Charlotte. I don't know if anybody's familiar with the Charlotte airport, but it's shaped like an octopus and like terminal A, B, C, D, E. I think there's all the way to K. There's so many terminals. And they said, oh, well, you only have to go from A to E.
Oh, okay.
But going from A to E is not as simple as going 4 blocks down. I've literally had to run. And for me to run, that's
Yeah.
okay. So that didn't happen. But I was looking for all of the moving sidewalks. So I'm getting on the moving sidewalks. I'm trying to get to Terminal E. I get to this, it looks like a branch off area. And I'm looking, where's E? Where's C? And it says C, E, D. And the arrows are going all in the same directions. I'm so confused. Finally, I get to my terminal. The flight left 20 minutes before I got there because I couldn't get to it. I couldn't find it. And they said, oh, your last flight landed late. So it really wasn't my fault.
No.
Anyway, long story short, I never made a connection. There was not another flight out. I was stranded in the Charlotte, North Carolina airport at 11 o'clock at night. Apparently, Heathrow Airport had caught on fire. So it had messed up a whole lot of other people's flights. There was a line 4 miles long to get a refund or a redo or a reschedule for the next day. So at 11 o'clock at night, I'm just standing in the line, tears rolling down my face because I'm so disappointed because I'm not going to get to go to this game. And I'm calling my son and I said, I'm not going to make it. And he's like, I'm so sorry. And I said, but you're going to get there, right? And he said, well, I don't know. He said, I finally made it to Chicago, but I'm still not in Milwaukee and I'm probably going to have to drive. Luckily, it was an hour and a half away. He ended up making it to his destination. I, however, was still stuck in Charlotte Airport. So I thought, okay, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Miss, I'm so resourceful. What are you going to do now? Well, they said, all we can offer you is a flight out at 7 o'clock tomorrow night. And I'm just looking at them. And I said, or what? Or you can go get a hotel, or you can spend the night in the airport, or you can all these things. And I'm just like, I don't know what to do. I said, okay, I'll take the 7 o'clock tomorrow night because I thought I'll take what I can get and then try to change it, Ends up, they said, we do have another one going out at 9 in the morning. I'm like, okay, yes, I'll take it. Back to Nashville. So I already knew I wasn't going to get to make my trip. So I'm just trying to get home. at 4
Sorry, I don't mean to laugh. Sorry.
at 4 p.m. Nashville time. I arrived back in Nashville over 24 hours later.
It's
Now,
not funny,
mind
but when I talked to you, you were like, I was like, so you left Nashville, you went to Charlotte, you never left the airport, you just came back to Nashville.
Okay. So while I'm trying to, like, what am I going to do? I'm like, okay, I got to find a place to just sit down. Maybe I can rest my head. Maybe I can get some sleep.
Yeah.
I was very, very exhausted. I was upset. I found a little, I guess it was a restaurant-ish area, and I set up camp there. And no, there it was blaring music. I couldn't get comfortable. Then I changed to there was a nice area with rocking chairs. No, that didn't work. Then the construction that was going on, they were jackhammering. I could not fall asleep. And then maybe 15 minutes later, I continue to hear the please move away from the moving sidewalk. Moving sidewalk will begin now. Every 10 minutes, all night long.
It's not funny. I'm sorry.
Then the concessions people were refilling all the concession stand. I mean, all the vending machines, the vending companies are rolling the carts in, shoving the drinks in the machine. It's loud. Anyway, it was a horrific experience. And I remembered thinking, thank goodness I did not name my firstborn Charlotte, because that was one of the names I was going to name her when I was expecting. Because yeah, Charlotte is a big no.
When you were telling me this, I was like, so I couldn't get past the fact that you hadn't been anywhere except from Nashville to Charlotte. And then you're like, I've tried to sleep. I finally found somewhere. Then some guy sat down beside me and started making noise. Then you said you looked over and there was a woman at like what, 4 a.m. doing yoga.
Okay. And let give her props. You know, there's nothing to do. I mean, you're not gonna
Yeah, true.
You're not gonna work a puzzle. I mean, you don't have a puzzle with you, and you're tired and you just need peace and you just need to get home. And I looked over and I thought, is she okay? She is standing facing the seating area, which have those metal armrests. She has one leg through one armrest. She has her entire body backwards with her head on the ground. I'm like, oh, okay. And then I thought, well, maybe I should do some stretches, you know. So I'm trying to do some stretches. I thought, surely she won't think it's weird because she was in a full downward dog.
Put a back bend
from the chair. And then, yeah, the dude, it was, I don't even know, charging his phone or something. There were miles of no people. And I found one spot and I sat down in that area and he sat right beside me.
Of course. Yep.
So then I moved again. And that's when I ran into the yoga lady.
Well, it was a terrible, I felt so bad for you because
it's okay.
I was so excited you were getting to go. And then it just,
I know.
Literally, you were like, I'm back home. I did nothing.
She said, well, did you get to shop in any of the shops at the airport? I said, well, let's see. I bought I bought earplugs because I was trying to block out all the buffer, the construction, it was awful. And then I started in my mind thinking, I'm gonna start a company where you can go to a vending machine and buy a blow-up mattress.
Oh, that's not a bad idea, right?
I know. And I thought I would pay $100 right now for a blow-up mattress just to lie down. I mean, it was miserable.
Well,
and I'm glad it's over. And I'm sorry. It took me 2 years to tell that, but whatever.
So, well, it was just last year. It was a year ago almost.
It took me just now 2 years to tell.
I know. Oh, yeah, you're fine. Well, I mean, we've flown a bunch. You know, there's delays are expected. It happens, right? Okay. So a couple years ago, I had the opportunity. So I'm going to tell this story in the short form, but just so people know, I am my guilty pleasure is reality TV, right? And one of my very favorite shows is The Jersey Shore. Judge all you want. I do not care. So I have two friends at work that are, when they hear this story, they're going to know. Shout out to Aaron and Olivia because they experienced some of this. But long story short, I had the opportunity to go to Seaside Heights, New Jersey, which is where the Jersey Shore was filmed back in its heyday. Olivia has family up about 2 hours from there. So I get the bright idea that I'm going to fly up that summer. I'm like, hey, if I fly up, what's the closest airport? She's like, Philadelphia. I'm like, cool. Never been to Philly. I'll fly to Philly. You'll come pick me up. It will take a 2 day, quick little beach trip to Seaside Heights. She likes the Jersey Shore. I like the Jersey Shore. So then this other friend at work was like, I want to go. I like a girls' trip. So Olivia, my friend that was visiting family up there, she was already up there. So me and my other teacher friend, Erin, we get flights. I pick her up. We leave super early in the morning from the Nashville airport, which, by the way, has been redone and is stunning. It's so pretty and beautiful now. So we had a lovely breakfast. We get to Philly. Our friend picks us up. We're on our way. We spend 2 days at the Jersey Shore. It was super fun. But we didn't sleep great. We were in this teeny weeny little, the Seaside Heights is not glamorous. Okay. We were in a cute little teeny weeny Airbnb apartment. It was the size of this room I'm sitting in, the whole thing, but it was clean, but we didn't sleep worth a flip. Okay. And so by the time we got ready to leave, everybody was tired. So the day comes, we got to leave. We got to get back to Philadelphia, which is probably about a 2 hour drive, hour and a half, 2 hours. And we still had a while till our flight. Okay. It wasn't till that night. So we decide when we get to Philly, we're going to do one of those double-decker tour buses that takes you around. So it's blazing hot because it's summer. So we hop on and I got to see the Rocky statue. Woo! It was all, Philadelphia, not so much. No offense to anybody from Philadelphia, probably won't go back.
And I won't go back to Charlotte, but whatever.
Exactly. So you could tell we're all just tired because we hadn't slept good. And Olivia was ready to get back to her kids. So we were like, just take us to the airport. Now, an important part of this story is when I packed to go on this trip, I checked my one suitcase that was just a smidge bigger than a carry-on. And just a smidge. So I had not packed for a carry-on. Okay. That's going to be important in a minute. So she drops us off. After we fist pumped at the Jersey Shore and at the airport, we say our goodbyes. Me and my friend Aaron, we go in. We go up, we're going to check our bags. The lady's like, can't check your bags yet. It's too early. So we had hours before our flight. I think they only do it like a couple hours ahead of time. So we're looking around and we kind of walk around. There's nowhere to go. There was nowhere to go because we weren't actually into the airport. We're just where they take your luggage. And she's like, you're going to have to dump your stuff. Like I had full-size toiletries. And I'm like, because I can't get it through TSA. And I'm like, oh man, I don't have bougie stuff, but I have a couple things that I didn't really want to throw away. But I was like, fine. So this was the first thing that started my emotional meltdown at the Philadelphia airport. I start chucking my nice my Bath and Body Works brand new thing I had, threw it away.
Oh.
I had at the time I was using this really nice Redken spray mousse, had to throw that away.
Oh.
So I did. I got rid of my full size stuff and we get into the Philadelphia airport. And let me tell you, it was gross. It wasn't pretty like the Nashville airport, and it was kind of sketch. And it was very crowded, blah, blah, blah. So we find somewhere to sit because we've got hours. We were there very early, which is fine. I was prepared for that. Well, then as we sit there, our flight got delayed. And I'm like, okay. So I have now made it my mission. And I can't remember, Aaron will know because I started to have a complete come apart. There's that overreacting again.
Well, I was going to say that's kind of unusual for you.
I feel like we were supposed to be back in Nashville like around 9 something. And now it's been pushed back. It may have been delayed again. I can't remember. She can weigh in on that. All I know is I was so tired. I start to cry. So now Aaron's all like, oh, no, she's crying.
Wait, I have a question. Was this 9 a.m. or p.m. that you're supposed to get back to Nashville?
PM. So it's
Oh dear. Oh, that's past my bedtime.
yeah. So
Uh-uh.
I start to cry, and I think she's like, "Oh no, why is she crying?" And I don't really know why I'm crying, other than I just want to freaking go home. I'm tired. I want to go home, and I don't like the Philadelphia airport. If it had been, you know me, if it had been a bougie, swanky airport, I'd have been down with it. But it was
I mean, if
funky.
there were massage chairs.
Yeah.
And
So now we're both dragging our bag around, our luggage. And I'm determined at this point, I'm not checking this bag because the last thing I want now when I get back to Nashville at 11 o'clock or whatever time we were getting back is I've still got to get my car. I had to take her home and we don't live in the same area. So I had to get her home. I was like, oh my gosh, I don't want to wait on my suitcase. Right.
No.
So
And it get lost. Even.
yeah. And then that's taking even longer. So I stopped crying. I had my fit and I finally stopped crying. I go up to somebody at Southwest and I'm like, so they have like at the counter where you could set your bag to see if it fits, right? It's got the little dotted lines around it. I put my bag up there. The lady at the Southwest counter, the first one, says, yeah, you're fine. You can carry it on. I'm like, perfect.
Yes.
So we decided we're going to make the best of our evening. We did find a really yummy local restaurant in the airport. That was the highlight of the whole day. And had some food. We had a couple cocktails. I'm like, okay, we're going to be fine. And then fast forward, it's finally upon us. I don't know. I feel like we've been there. Like at one point, I was like, "Could we drive home faster than this?" She was like, "Are you insane? We're in Philadelphia.
You're at the Hertz counter going."
Like she was like, "We would not get home for 2 days. It's fine. You'll be fine." Like I'm just done. I don't think she'll ever fly with me again. Love you, Erin. But anyway, so fast forward now, it's late. And I'm like, okay, just want to go. Just want to go. I mean, I don't remember the time, but it was late. Like, I don't think we landed back in Nashville until after 11. So it's finally time. They're calling our boarding group. So I'm standing in line with my cute suitcase, which by the way is pink. Thank you very much. And this woman comes over from Southwest and says, ma'am, that suitcase is too big. You can't take it on the plane. And I'm like, well, the lady at the counter said it was fine. So I take it to a different Southwest counter and I put it in the same little thing. And there's a man working behind there. He says it's fine. So now,
yes,
2 Southwest people say it's fine. You're good. I mean, when I tell you guys, it was like that. It's not like I was carrying a big giant suitcase.
It wasn't a trunk.
No. So we get on the plane. It fit in the overhead. I just had to turn it a different direction. And listen, I don't think this flight was full. I don't remember. Everybody's suitcase fit in the overheads. Nobody was getting kicked off. So I just want to throw that out there. Okay.
Lordy mercy. All right.
So I remember we sat next to some woman that was coming to Nashville and she was ready to partay. Like she was going for the Nashville experience. And all I could think of was have fun. I want to get in the bed.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we finally land in Nashville. We're home. I'm excited. I pull my suitcase out of the overhead. And we were probably towards the back of the plane because that's where I always end up. I get my suitcase down and this flight attendant lady goes, ma'am, your suitcase is too big. And I was in no mood, mind you. Okay. So I've got it down. I never even stopped. I whipped my head around and looked at her and I said, take it up with Steve and Philly. And I bounced my suitcase all the way down the aisle. I was so annoyed. Because Steve was the last guy to weigh in on it in Philly behind the counter. And he said, you're fine. So I turned around and yelled at her, take it up with Steve and Philly. And I just never missed a beat. And that thing bounced all the way down the aisle. And I was
but she never tried to stop you?
No. I'm like, well, the plane has landed, lady. What's the point?
Well, what is she going to do? Say, here, you can Venmo me the $8 that
I don't know. She just wanted to, I guess she was just trying to make sure I knew. And I'm like, well, y'all can't agree because I had 2 or 3 Southwest people tell me it was fine. And the 2 people were like, it's too big. I guess she was also tired and wanted to cry like me.
She hadn't yet cried it out. Apparently.
So I have we all have a million travel stories, yes. But that's probably one of my more recent ones where I was starting to get unhinged.
And we'd love to hear some of your funny travel stories. If you would leave comments, we would appreciate it. And we do appreciate
Yes.
all of our new subscribers and followers. We love you guys.
Gosh, we're having so much
Appreciate it.
fun, and
It's a
we just
lot
love
of
it.
fun. It
Yes.
has
So
been a
if
lot
you
of
are
fun.
traveling for spring break, may the travel gods be with you. May you have safe travel, and may your flights not be delayed and your suitcases be
Yes.
too big.
And may you not have to spend the night in an airport ever,
Yes.
which I'm sure you have. I have one more question for you, Stacy. So, is there a place like, the Amazon? I don't know what it's called, but it's where nobody picked up their package or the package was lost or something. And
Mhm.
you go to some big warehouse and you can buy other people's Amazon boxes. And I don't know what that's called. So, is there a TSA secret shoot where all of our good products have been launched, and then you can go and rebuy people's things that they
I don't
couldn't
know.
take
I
on
had
the
to literally,
airplane.
they just put it in a trash can. I think they throw it away.
Now, come on.
Because I did one time, we were coming back from Florida, accidentally packed my full size hairspray in my carry on. I just was getting everything. We were getting off the cruise and I wanted stuff to get ready the next day, and they take your luggage the night before. So when we
Yeah.
got to TSA, I'd forgotten about it. Nope, they just chucked it in the garbage. So it's fine.
Well, okay, whatever. Anyway, okay, so it's time, I guess, to wrap it up
Yes.
for this episode. So it's time to dispatch the detach, people. And I'm going to leave you with this, and I'm quoting Helen Keller. Life is either a daring adventure or nothing at all. So
I
enjoy
love
your
that.
travels and
Adventures.
adventures, and remember, don't make a fist, start a list.
All right. See you guys next time.
Thank you. Bye bye.